Franklin Clinton never had it easy, not even close. Born in South Los Santos back in 1988, his life started rough and stayed that way for a long time. No father around, no real guidance, just chaos from day one. His mom struggled heavy with addiction, trying to escape her own pain, and that struggle ended up costing her everything. Losing her at such a young age left a mark on Franklin that never really faded. That kind of pain doesn't just disappear, it shapes how you move, how you think, how you survive. And in South Los Santos, survival meant adapting fast, no matter the cost. After that, he was taken in by his grandparents, and for a moment, things looked a little more stable. His grandma showed him love, maybe even too much, trying to give him the childhood he was missing. But even with that, the streets were louder than anything else around him. That hunger for more, for money, for respect, it was already inside him. One of his first hustles, selling cigarettes with J.B. Bradshaw, thinking they were running a real operation. They felt untouchable, like young bosses, until reality hit hard when his grandpa caught them. Even then, it showed who Franklin was at his core always, thinking ahead, always chasing a way to get paid, even if it meant stepping into risky territory. As time passed and his grandparents were gone, Franklin ended up living with his Aunt Denise on Forum Drive, a house left behind by his grandma. That house became more than just a place to stay, it was the center of everything. Around this time, Franklin was deep in Davis's high school life, running with familiar faces like Lamar Davis and Tanisha Jackson. But school? That wasn't going to last.
Half my house.
Now I'ma call the police.
For what?
Disloyalty, boy.
Disloyalty? What is you talking about?
Don't act like you don't know what it is, homeboy. Yo, you ain't been to the set, ain't came to none of the meetings.
Hanging out with old men, ignoring your homies, acting all superior? Your mama would turn over in her grave, boy.
So you giving me a lecture about not being a good enough gangbanger?
Gangs is positive. That's all we got, my nigga. That's our heritage.
Ain't nothing positive about your crazy ass. Man, where Tanisha at?
She got more sense than to hang out with your sorry ass. You know you always been like this, boy. I say left, you say right. I say become a doctor. You say become a patient. I say, who is that?
Hello, Missy. Wow, Franklin. You never told me that you had a sister.
I'm Denise, Franklin's housemate.
And Aunt, my mother's old dried up ass
Shut
sister.
the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up! Here, darling, why don't you go get yourself something nice, okay?
You. Is it $7?
I said something nice, not expensive. You want to be a greedy fucking cow, huh? No. Now get the fuck out of here, all right?
You men are all the same.
Man, what the fuck you doing here?
Here with the boys.
What?
I'm fucking new in town. I'm making friends, all right? Now let's party.
Look, I had plans on getting some rest until this clown and my aunt came and fucked that up.
My nigga, I just came over here to holler at you about the little thing.
Man, I said I'm tired, dawg.
What fucking thing? I love things. I'm the king of things.
I ain't talking to you, homie.
Hey, let's go do something about the thing, okay?
What thing?
I'm talking about the little stretch thing, man.
Fucking beautiful. Perfect. It's a gangbang. Let's go. Come on.
One moment of anger, one impulsive decision, and he was out-kicked for hitting a teacher. That was the turning point where everything shifted. No more pretending to follow the normal path. From there, it was full dive into the streets moving product, boosting cars, and pulling off small robberies with Lamar like it was just another day. One of their early robbery attempts says it, all they hit a bank thinking they finally made it, only to walk away with useless cash after a dye pack exploded all over it. That's the kind of reality Franklin lived in. Nothing came easy, and even when it did, it could fall apart in seconds. He even worked under a local dealer named Marcus, and that situation didn't end peacefully either. Franklin handled business his own way, showing early that he wasn't someone to underestimate. He wasn't just surviving anymore, he was becoming someone the streets would remember. Then, there was Tanisha, and this part hits different. They had history, real history, not just something casual. But she saw where Franklin's life was heading, and she wanted no part of it. Losing her brother to street violence changed how she saw everything, and she refused to let Franklin drag her into that same cycle. So she stepped away, even if it wasn't clean. She still cared, but she chose a different life. And Franklin, it couldn't let go. No matter how much time passed, he kept holding on to that idea that maybe one day things would be different, that he could win her back somehow. But life kept moving. Tanisha found someone else, a man completely opposite of Franklin's world. Stability, success, a clean life. She even moved in with him, building something real. Meanwhile, Franklin stayed stuck between two worlds, trying to level up while still being tied to everything he came from. You see it clearly, he starts making bigger moves, chasing bigger money, thinking that success might finally change how she sees him. But deep down, it was never just about money. It was about proving he could be more than what the streets made him. By 2013, things started shifting in a major way. Franklin and Lamar were working under Simeon Yetarian, a slick-talking car dealer running shady deals on people who couldn't afford what they were buying. Franklin's job: take the cars back when payments stopped. Simple on paper, messy in reality. It's where everything really begins. One job leads to another, and suddenly Franklin crosses paths with Michael DeSanta without even realizing it at first. In that moment, that changed everything. A simple repo job turns into chaos when they hit a gang-controlled area. Now, guns come out, shots fired, and they barely make it out alive. Lamar, being reckless as always, keeps the bike, leaving Franklin to deal with the fallout. Simeon turns on him quick. No loyalty, no second chances. Just like that, Franklin's out of a job. But that's when things take a wild turn. On another repo, Franklin unknowingly picks up Michael's son's car, except Michael is sitting in the back the whole time. Suddenly, there's a gun in his face, and instead of things going left, Michael makes him crash straight through Simeon's dealership like it's nothing. And just like that, Franklin's life flips. Gets paid, gains respect, and more importantly, gets noticed. That moment opened a door he didn't even know existed. After that, Franklin tracks Michael down, remembers that casual offer for a drink, and that's where the real story begins. Not just hustling anymore. No, it's bigger moves, bigger risks, and way bigger consequences. From there, everything escalates fast. He helps Michael save his son from a dangerous situation out at sea, then gets pulled into chaos involving Michael's personal life. A wild chase leads them to destroy the wrong house, dragging them straight into problems with Martin Madrazo, a powerful and dangerous figure who doesn't forgive mistakes. Suddenly, there's a massive debt hanging over them, forcing Michael back into the life he tried to leave behind. And Franklin steps right into it with him, no hesitation. At the same time, Lamar keeps pulling Franklin into reckless plans, like kidnapping a rival gang member. With Chop tracking him down, they actually pull it off, but Lamar ruins it again by exposing their location, forcing them to let him go. And just when things couldn't get more tense, Stretch comes back into the picture. And this is where things get dangerous on a whole different level. Stretch represents everything Franklin is trying to move away from. Old rules, old mindset, control through fear and respect. But Franklin, he's thinking bigger now. He's trying to build something of his own, not stay stuck in the same cycle. That clash creates constant tension, and it finally explodes when Stretch sets up a deal that turns into a full ambush. Gunfire, chaos, betrayal, everything happening at once. Dee is killed, and Franklin barely makes it out alive. That moment proves something important. This isn't just about hustling anymore. This is about survival, at a level where one wrong move changes everything. And Franklin is right in the middle of it all, trying to rise while everything around him keeps pulling him back down. Franklin is furious, and this time it's not just anger, it's realization hitting him hard. He finally sees Stretch for what he really is. This isn't just some greedy dude chasing money. Stretch is playing a long game, moving pieces behind the scenes, keeping control over the gangs by turning people against each other. And in that plan, Franklin and Lamar aren't allies. They're threats. That truth changes everything for Franklin, pushing him even further away from the streets and deeper into Michael's world, a world that comes with Trevor Phillips and Lester Crest, two names that carry serious weight. So when Michael offers Franklin a spot in the jewelry store heist, Franklin doesn't hesitate. This is his shot, his first real step into something bigger. The job goes smooth, money comes in heavy, and for the first time, Franklin feels what real success looks like. But that new path, it starts creating distance. Lamar doesn't like it, Denise doesn't stop complaining, and suddenly Franklin's being called disloyal just for wanting more out of life. But he's locked in now. He's not trying to stay stuck. He's trying to rise. Then out of nowhere, Trevor shows up at Franklin's house, completely uninvited, bringing that chaotic energy with him. And Lamar, running his mouth like always, starts talking about a deal Stretch set up with the Ballas. That's all Trevor needs to hear. He's instantly in. So just like that, the three of them, with Chop tagging along, head straight into Grove Street. Lamar's ready to make a big purchase, thinking he's about to secure something major. But Trevor snatches the product, checks it, and instantly calls it out. It's fake, just drywall. That's when everything explodes. Gunfire erupts everywhere, bullets flying, chaos taking over the streets. They're forced to fight their way out. No plan, just survival. The escape.
Courier service. Package to collect. You got the grip? Present and accounted for. Huh? You like that, huh?
Sample?
Now we talking. My throat getting numb already.
So we good, nigga, right? Well, let's go.
How about a taste?
No, man, we leaving.
I want a taste of the other side of the brick.
Now you heard what your boy said, you're leaving.
Hey, give me the back! Whoa,
What the fuck?
did we ask for a key or a fucking ounce?
Man, that's motherfucking drywall. Hey, we got some motherfucking buyer's remorse out here.
You can't fucking hustle a hustler! Ah!
Oh, you motherfuckers are dead!
Bro, we got food.
Wildjet skis through the storm drains, pushing through pure madness. And right there in the middle of it, Franklin puts it together. This was another setup. Stretch did this, and it becomes clear. This isn't the last time he'll try something like that. Not long after, things escalate even further. The crew goes after something way bigger, an experimental weapon from Merryweather, a private military force that doesn't play around. They actually manage to pull it off, which sounds insane by itself. But Lester shuts it down immediately. Keeping something like that, it's not power, that's a death sentence. Every agency would be hunting them down. Even Trevor, after pushing back, finally agrees. It's too hot to hold. Meanwhile, Franklin's name is getting bigger. He starts working for Devin Weston, a powerful and unpredictable billionaire who pulls them into high-level car thefts. At the same time, Franklin handles hits for Lester, stacking money fast and leveling up his lifestyle. He moves out of Forum Drive and into a mansion in Vinewood Hills, a huge jump that shows just how far he's come. But even with all that progress, chaos keeps finding him. While trying to track down Michael and Trevor after a job gone wrong, Franklin runs into the O'Neill Bros guys, looking for revenge on Trevor. That situation turns into a full-on chase through Raton Canyon, intense and dangerous, ending with Chop tracking down the last one like it's nothing. Together, the trio takes them out, showing again how dangerous they are when they move as a unit. Then comes another big playa bank robbery in Blaine County. Targeting corrupt money tied to dirty cops, they pull it off clean and walk away with millions. But even that win comes with strings attached to Steve N and Dave Norton. The corrupt FIB agents take their cut, reminding everyone who's really pulling strings behind the scenes. And then Devin Weston shows his true colors. Lamar steals the final car on Devin's list. Everything goes according to plan, delivery is smooth, and then Devin refuses to pay. Instead, he talks about investing their money, basically playing them like fools. That betrayal hits hard. Nobody likes being played, especially not at this level. Then everything flips again. Franklin finds out Michael has been kidnapped by the Triads. He goes straight to Trevor for help, but Trevor refuses. He's still burning from the past, from the betrayal he just learned about. So Franklin makes a decision that says everything about who he is. He goes alone, no backup, no hesitation. He storms into a slaughterhouse, fights his way through, and saves Michael himself. That moment proves something. Franklin isn't just about money anymore. He's loyal, and he's willing to risk everything for the people he rides with. But during that rescue, the truth comes out. Michael has been working with the FIB behind the scenes, trying to clean his slate while keeping secrets from Trevor. That revelation adds even more tension, but there's no time to sit on it. They're forced into another job, breaking into the FIB building to pull out sensitive files. It's high risk, high pressure, but they pull it off. For a moment, it feels like they're on top again. That peace doesn't last. Tanisha shows up out of nowhere, shaken, panicking, and she brings news that changes everything. Stretch has set Lamar up again. This time it's serious. Lamar is being held at the Paleo Forest sawmill, surrounded by ballast, no way out. And despite everything, the arguments, the frustration, Lamar never changing. Franklin doesn't even think twice. He's not leaving him behind. He calls Michael, he calls Trevor, and just like that, the three of them move together again, stronger than ever. They storm the sawmill, guns blazing, taking down everyone in their path. It's intense, it's messy, but they get Lamar out alive. And on the ride back, reality hits. Franklin calls Lamar out for always dragging him into problems. Lamar fires back, saying Franklin left him behind. It's raw, it's honest, and it shows how much they've both changed. But one thing they both agree on: Stretch crossed the line for real this time. He didn't just set them up, sold them out. Franklin doesn't sugarcoat it anymore. He hits Lamar with the truth straight up. He's telling him it's time to get his life together and stop running in circles. No more excuses. No more reckless moves. But before Franklin can even process everything, he gets pulled into something way bigger. Steve N. and Dave Norton corner him, and this time they're not asking, they're ordering. Trevor has to go. They paint him as a problem, a loose end that needs to be cleaned up. Franklin tries to shift it, pushing the job toward Michael, but Norton shuts that down quick. Trevor doesn't trust Michael anymore. That leaves Franklin stuck in the middle, forced to choose between loyalty and survival. Then comes the biggest moment of all: the Union Depository heist. This isn't small time anymore. This is millions in gold. Perfectly planned, perfectly executed. Option of Franklin chooses Trevor. They meet at an oil field, and Trevor has no idea what's coming. He's talking like everything is normal, even opening up about their friendship while still venting about Michael. And then it happens. Franklin pulls the gun. The betrayal hits Trevor instantly, and he takes off, trying to escape. The chase is intense, reckless, full speed with no turning back. Franklin calls Michael, and together they corner Trevor. One hit sends Trevor crashing into a gas tanker, fuel spilling everywhere. Trevor crawls out, furious, hurt, betrayed, yelling at both of them. And then it ends. One shot ignites everything, and Trevor is gone in flames. A brutal final moment that neither Franklin nor Michael can truly justify, no matter how much they try. After that, things don't get better, they just get quieter. Colder, and promises to handle Devin Weston, but cuts Franklin off completely. Michael stays around, but something's broken between them. They act like it was the right choice, but it never feels right. Jimmy calls, confused, looking for answers, and Franklin lies, pushing the blame elsewhere. Lamar goes into hiding, moving carefully now that he knows how deep things go. Tanisha calls one last time. She's moving on, getting married, leaving that life behind. And Franklin, he's left with money, but less people, less trust, and a silence that doesn't go away. Option B: Franklin turns on Michael instead. Sets up a meeting in the desert, acting like it's just a conversation, but Michael sees through it almost instantly. He runs, and Franklin chases, fast, intense, no words needed anymore. The pursuit leads them to the Palmer-Taylor power station, where everything slows down just enough for the truth to hit. On a narrow walkway, it all comes to a stop. One fight, one push, and Michael is hanging over the edge. Franklin has a choice: help him or let go. But either way, Michael falls. And just like that, it's over. The aftermath. Even heavier than before. Franklin tries to reach out, hoping something is still there, but it's not. Devin Weston makes it clear Franklin was just a tool, nothing more. Trevor cuts him off completely, not believing a word he says, filled with anger and disappointment. Jimmy calls, searching for his father, and when the truth hits, that connection is gone too. Amanda blames Franklin, shuts him out. Lamar stays hidden. Tanisha moves on with her life, and Lester gives Michael's share to his family. Franklin gains nothing but regret. This ending, it leaves him isolated, surrounded by what he's done, with no one left to stand beside him. Option C, the third way. And this is where everything changes. Franklin refuses to choose. He's done being controlled, done being forced into impossible decisions. Instead, he goes to Lester, and together, they come up with a plan, a dangerous one. It's not just to survive, but to wipe out every enemy at once. They set the stage, manipulating Devin Weston and Steve N, making them believe the gold is hidden at a foundry. It's a setup, a trap, and once it starts, there's no going back. Franklin pulls Lamar into the plan, keeping him outside as lookout while things get real inside. When Franklin steps in, Michael and Trevor are already going at each other again, tension still boiling from everything that happened before. But this time, Franklin shuts it down. No more arguing, no more ego. He forces them to lock in for one last job together. And right on cue, everything kicks off against from Merryweather and the fibs storm in, turning the place into a full war zone. Bullets flying everywhere, chaos breaking loose, but the three of them move like a unit again. Back to back, covering each other, surviving everything thrown at them, and somehow, they win. They cleared the entire situation, proving that, when they work together, nobody can touch them. Once the dust settles, Lester steps in with the final move. He drops locations every enemy, every problem, all at once. And this is where it gets smart. They don't go after their own enemies. They switch targets. Trevor goes after Steve N. Michael handles Stretch. Franklin tracks down Wei Cheng. That move throws everything off, makes it harder for anyone to trace what really happened. One by one, they clean everything up. No loose ends, no one left pulling strings. Then comes the final moment they meet up again, and this time, it's different. Devin Weston is already captured, sitting in his own car, powerless for once. Franklin looks at him, calm, but satisfied, and says, "My bad, homie. I picked C. Ain't that a bitch?" That line says everything. It's no more being controlled, no more choosing sides. Franklin made his own path. They clown Devin, no respect left, and then it's over. They push the car straight off Mount Gilead. The fall is long silent, then impact explosion in the water below. And just like that, one of the biggest problems in their lives is gone forever. After everything, they make a decision that nobody expected. They step away from the life. No more big jobs, no more chaos like before. But one thing stays, they keep the friendship. And in a strange twist, the head of Merryweather actually thanks Franklin, because Devin's death helped him buy back control of the company cheaper. It just shows how deep everything was, moves inside moves. Tanisha reaches out again, telling Franklin she's getting married, reminding him to stay out of trouble. It hits different this time, not anger, not frustration, just acceptance. But now, things are different. Enemies are gone, the pressure is gone, and for the first time, Franklin, Michael, and Trevor can actually breathe. Franklin finally has control over his life, and he grows into something more than just a hustler trying to survive. And what happens after all of that? This is where it gets even crazier. If you've seen the GTA Online, the contract update, you already know Franklin didn't just survive. He leveled up heavy. That Union depository money. He used it smart, making real investments, building something legit. More chasing scraps. He's making power moves now. And here's the twist. Nobody expected Tanisha's story doesn't end where it looked like it would. Even though she married Jaden, that perfect life didn't last. At some point, they split. And she finds her way back to Franklin. Yes, for real. They reconnect, rebuild, and eventually get married. She moves into his place on Wispy Mound Drive, and they start a family together. If you check his house, you'll see it kids' toys, a backyard setup, real signs of a new life. Franklin went from the streets to building a home, something stable, something real. Lamar, still around, still wild, but now part of the business? As Franklin builds something legit. Clinton and Partner, a full-on agency handling problems for celebrities in Vinewood. Missing items, sensitive situations, things people don't want public, Franklin handles it all. He brings in Amani, Sharp, and Texivi, and somehow even keeps Lamar involved, and Chop. Still there, told her now, but still loyal as ever. Franklin hasn't forgotten where he came from either. There are hints he still stays connected to Michael, and even Trevor tried to show up at his office at one point. That bond never fully disappears, even if they're not moving like before. Then comes one of the biggest moves, Franklin working with Dr. Dre himself. Not a rumor, not a cameo, real business. Dre's unreleased music gets stolen, and Franklin steps in to handle it. They meet at a golf course, and the situation turns chaotic, instantly crashing golf carts, running into the wrong people, setting the tone for another wild mission. From there, Franklin and Amani track down everyone involved, Vagos member, triad affiliate, even a crypto billionaire playing with stolen tracks. One by one, they shut everything down, taking back control and getting Dre's music back where it belongs. And at the center of it all, Johnny Guns, a producer with history and bad blood with Dre. Franklin and the players step in to handle it, proving again Franklin isn't just surviving anymore. He's running things on a whole different level now. Franklin and the crew finally track Johnny Guns down, bringing everything full circle so Dr. Dre can confront him face to face. No more running, no more hiding. This was the moment Dre had been waiting for. And while that whole situation wraps up, something else stands out even more. The bond between Franklin and Lamar is still alive, still chaotic, and still unpredictable. Through the short trips, you really see it. They end up in Dre's studio, thanks to DJ Pooh, and things instantly go left in the funniest way possible. Lamar tries to rap like he's about to blow up overnight, while Franklin just vibes, getting high with the protagonist like he's earned the right to finally relax. But when Lamar reaches for it too, Franklin checks him quick. Tanisha wouldn't like that. And that line alone says everything. That's confirmation. They really made it work. Lamar, of course, stays exactly who he is, always chasing the next wild idea. He launches LD Organics, his own weed business, thinking he's about to dominate the game overnight. And naturally, he drags Franklin into it, pitching risky moves like hitting Vago's warehouses or linking up with some strange figure from the Epsilon program, Jimmy Boston. Franklin, now way more experienced, isn't moving reckless anymore. He sees through the nonsense, warning Lamar about how dangerous and fake the Vinewood scene can be. But Lamar, he doesn't hear warnings, he hears opportunities. One of the craziest moments has to be that van literally made out of weed. Franklin looks at it like, how are you even going to smoke it if it's part of the van?
Ow.
That's the kind of logic Lamar operates on. And somehow they still try to turn it into a business play, even attempting to get Jimmy Boston to promote it. But just like always, things fall apart fast. The Vagos pull up, tension spikes, and suddenly, it's another shootout. Bullets flying, chaos everywhere, and somehow they still make it out. But it doesn't stop there. On the ride back, the heat from the sun starts burning the van itself, filling the air with smoke. They both get hit with it, laughing, barely holding it together. And Lamar, in pure Lamar fashion, decides the best move is to drive straight to a nightclub. The crowd smells it, the whole place reacts, and suddenly, LD Organics is getting attention. Messy, reckless, but somehow it works. Franklin, always grounded now, snaps back to reality. He's got a real life waiting at home with Tanisha. That's growth right there. Lamar tries one more time to pull him back into the madness, offering him some kind of internship like it's a serious opportunity. But Franklin doesn't even entertain it. He just walks off, calm, focused, knowing exactly who he is now. No more getting dragged into nonsense. He's on a different level. Then comes a more recent moment late 2023. Franklin shows up at the 10th anniversary of West Coast Classics, another move set up by DJ Pooh. The event is packed, hosted by Damn Funk, full of energy, music, and that classic Los Santos vibe. Everything's smooth until Franklin grabs the mic, just trying to show respect and give a shout out, and Lamar snatches it right out of his hand. That moment says everything about them. Lamar, frustrated, feeling like Franklin is always one step ahead, tries to take his moment back. Franklin interrupts. Things get heated. Voices raise in just like that. Security steps in to break it up. Even with all the success, all the growth, some things never really change. Their dynamic stays the same: loyal, chaotic, real. And that's what makes Franklin's story hit different. He didn't just make money, he evolved. From a kid in South Los Santos with nothing, to someone running real business, building a family, and finally taking control of his life. But at the same time, he never fully disconnects from where he came from, when Lamar is the perfect reminder of that. At the end of it all, Franklin's story isn't just about crime or success, it's about choices. It's every decision, every risk, every relationship shaped who he became. And even now, standing at the top, you can still see the same guy who just wanted something better. Except now, he actually got it.